Now, there's always some kind of controversy behind devices with portrait video or cinematic video. And so I decided to put the 14 Plus and the 7 Pro against each other. I do have the 7, but they both do cinematic video and they're pretty much the same cameras. And I decided to go ahead and use a device for this video intro, and by the outro, you'll know which device it is. So, cinematic video, I think, is made popular by Apple, even though plenty of other OEMs have done portrait style video or cinematic video. Let's give Apple their credit, and let's give them the credit that they have due coming to them. So this is Apple's second time doing a cinematic video on their device. The first iteration was 1080p only. Now it's 4K on the front and the rear. That is a huge plus. And so when in this scenario, in this short clip that you're going to watch here of both phones, I shot the iPhone at its highest level because why not? I think it's only fair that Google put out their best foot forward and Apple too. Now, I will say, I'm recording this portion of the video after all the other footage. And I looked at the footage and the iPhone does have that sharpness. Now, when I was shooting portrait video in this office with the iPhone, I should have remembered what I said about the iPhone initially. It does not do well with portrait video indoors. And I still think that it does not. But other phones, like this device I'm recording with here, looks great in portrait style video indoors. It handles it very well. For some reason, in my opinion, the iPhone needs a lot of light for its portrait video to look really good. But in fact, in this footage, you're going to see, now I don't give my opinion pretty much throughout the video in those clips about which one I think is better. I've already said that I like the Pixel 7 cameras for cinematic video. But in this scenario, because I'm one of those fair reviewers, in this scenario, I think the iPhone got the edge for sure because we were outside only. So just take a look at the footage and then I'll disclose which device I'm using in this video for this portion of the video. But I think portrait style video, cinematic video is phenomenal for vlogging, but I don't want to vlog outside all the time. Now, outside of portrait style video and cinematic video, tons of phones do great with cinematic video. In fact, I use the iPhone 13 Pro Max, I've said it multiple times, as my top-down shot video camera for almost a year that I had the 13 Pro Max. And it's just phenomenal for top-down shots. The rear cameras on them are incredible. And so I moved to the 14 Pro Max and then recently moved to the 14 Plus. I didn't see the need of me to have the 14 Pro Max, and I could save some money by going with the 14 Plus because I know what I'm going to use them for, which was just videos, cameras, and fantastic battery. So let's get into this comparison real quick. This will be a short one. There's just two clips each, I think, on this one. And then, we'll discuss there. You'll see the reveal of this device that I'm using right now. If you know what it is, go ahead and comment right now if you think you know what it is, or go ahead and cheat and go to the end of the video. It's your man, Jay. Enjoy the footage. So did Apple make cinematic video popular? That is the question. And I'm going to go ahead and say they probably did. Even though other devices have always done cinematic video, sometimes when Apple does something, people tend to just lock onto it and create it as a standard. So this is the iPhone 14 Plus's cinematic video on the rear camera. I'm going to be showing you a video from the new Pixel 7 device and comparing the footage because there's this standard that's set out there that Apple still is the best for video. And then sometimes when I speak out and say, well, I don't personally feel like this was better, people get offended and they get a little upset. So I'll put up another video. So this time we're going to stay outside right here. And we're just going to shoot right in this spot right here with both phones now. To start off the video, this is once again, the 14 Plus rear camera cinematic video. Now, advantage goes to this device because it can do cinematic video on the front and the rear at 4K 30. And this is where Google needs to step their game up and improve. But let's just check out the rear camera 1080p cinematic video because that's the top of the line right now from Google. That's the most that they can do. So let's see how they do against the iPhone's rear camera right now. Now, Google's device is, unfortunately, this is the 7 Pro, and this device, unfortunately, is plagued with heating problems. To me, this is really good quality, and I feel like if they can just get some things in order, because personal preference, you're always going to be able to tell the difference, I know now, between an iPhone's video cameras and photos than any other device, because the iPhone tends to have a certain hue to it. Now, that isn't a bad thing, because most of the time I shoot a lot of portrait shots with the iPhones, and I do a lot of cinematic video. However, this Pixel 7 Pro unfortunately is plagued with overheating issues. So it's only happened to me twice. And again, where I live at, it's early in the morning at the recording this video. So it's a little cool outside. It's probably 50, 60. And that's cool for me here where I live at, because it is still beating down on me. Now, really for me, the time length, as my crazy dog runs in circles here, the time length for me, the longest I've gone with cinematic video, I think, was about 3 minutes to 10 minutes, I'm not sure. No, it was like 45 minutes, but I was indoors. Now outside, it cut off fairly quickly, maybe within 3 minutes. Now I do have the phone directly in sunlight, but this video isn't about the heating problems of the Pixel. It's really about the quality. So if the device cuts off, I'll tell you if it cuts off, but focus on the quality, because I have pointed out that this video, the phone has cut off on me with cinematic video. Now regular video, I can shoot whatever, and I haven't had it cut off yet, I think. It cut off on me once, but it was in direct sunlight again. So again, advantage Apple for having their seasoned, well-oiled machine out there running and going. This is Google's first attempt at cinematic video, and I think they're doing a phenomenal job at it. The quality on this looks really good. Let's switch back to the iPhone. All right, so I've got it on a tripod now, because I didn't want to hold it. I wanted to go ahead and put it on a tripod and show you this is what the distance and everything, the microphones and everything are always good on the iPhone. It is not a windy day today, so that plays out in my favor when it comes to recording footage. So I just have the iPhone on a tripod. It is beating direct sunlight. The sun is like right there. And I'm gonna leave the tripod in the same position for the Pixel 7 Pro. And here is the Pro right here. And I'm gonna get a shot of to show you that the iPhone is in fact on the tripod and how I have this positioned for the video. So now I'm gonna switch over to the iPhone, and we're going to just give you some more footage and see how it is compared to the Pixel. Let me get this photo. Now, when you do have things in view on these devices, you can tap the subject and keep just their face in view. But I'm doing this alone, and I don't have anybody to help me do it at this very moment. But here's the iPhone once again, and the Pixel is on the tripod. Now, one difference you'll have with the Pixel devices is the audio. It has the audio zoom feature. The iPhones can do it too, but normally the iPhone does better at audio when you need the right tones, or you have a preferred method for your tones. And that's one thing I like about the iPhones. It sounds more along the lines of like a maybe 40 to 80 kilohertz for the tones, whereas the Pixel and the Samsung devices give a higher pitch. And because they're focusing in on more of a vlogging style video, and this is what the results you'll get is really good audio, and you'll get just a louder tone overall. So it'll appear that the phones that are not iPhones have better audio. But I pointed out in another video, the iPhones have really solid audio. I really like how their audio does, because it picks up the deeper tones. I actually have a really deep voice, but sometimes with the phones, it doesn't pick that up. So let's give a different scenario or a different position for portrait video. Cinematic video is a thing that we all like to discuss, and I think just looking at the quality here, you can determine whether or not you feel like the 14 Plus is the better cinematic video shooter, or it is the Pixel 7 or 7 Pro. Both the Pixel and the 7 and 7 Pro can shoot cinematic video. I just have the Pixel 7 is on the charger, and this is the one that was next to me, so I used this one for the video. But I feel like if Apple decides to do anything else on with their cameras, Apple has the more complete setup and well-established, well-seasoned. Apple has proven themselves for video, which is why most people like to use the Apple phones for video. Haven't you seen people shooting video with an iPhone? You're like, whoa, you shot that on an iPhone. The only thing that's plagued by this Google device is simply the overheating issue. Personal preference when it comes to which one is better, that's always going to be personal preference. Some of you guys go really hard in the paint when you find that someone likes something better than the iPhone. But again, here's another quick sample of portrait style video on the Pixel 7 and the iPhone 14 Plus. So which one do you think did better? Give your honest opinion about it. Look for edge detection, listen to the audio and things like that. Real brief and to the point. Cinematic video on both of these devices. Advantage iPhone in a lot of areas. Advantage iPhone for doing 4K 30. Remember the last iteration of cinematic video, the first iteration, it was only 1080p. Now it's 4K 30 cinematic video on the front and the rear. Major advantage to the iPhone. Pixel 7 Pro, good quality, only 1080p. And it's only on the rear. So major disadvantage. So as a whole, the iPhone wins in that scenario. And when you look at quality, then you can determine which one you think is better for audio and video. I think phones that shoot portrait style video or cinematic video, you can see the best of what they have to offer outside in direct sunlight. That's what I think. But you know, with Google having these heating issues, and it didn't heat up at all. It didn't cut off. But with Google having some heating issues, that seems to be the focus around the Pixel 7 devices, not the actual quality for the most part from what I can see online. I think the quality on the Pixel 7 devices for cinematic video is very good. Is it a major win overall, you know, when you start to use them more and more? Because I shot other videos with these devices and I chose the color temperature of the Pixel 7 cinematic video, and the way it looked, I thought it looked fantastic. But here, I decided to just go outside only and shoot some cinematic video. And thank goodness there was no heating issues, and they both did fairly well overall. It says the iPhone is a more stable, seasoned package. And this is Google's first attempt at cinematic video. But their first attempt is a great first attempt. So I'll let you battle it out in the comments and tell me I'm crazy or for liking the Pixel 7. But you guys know I definitely like the iPhone too. And again, how could I say it again? Major advantages go to the iPhone in a lot of ways. But it comes down to what you like. Also remember what screen you're watching it on plays a huge part. So if you're watching it on an iPhone, most people, you're going to be saying this iPhone looks better. You know what I'm saying? If you're watching it on a Pixel, you're going to say the Pixel looks better. So watch this video on your TV if you want to. But the phone the device I'm recording with, to me, it kills when it comes to cinematic video and just regular video. The Z Fold 4. All right, guys, leave a comment down below and tell me what you think about this video. Take care.